What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another morning update, and I can get used to these. What in the Enoch is going on at this football club? 4th of June, and we have got concrete info after concrete info after concrete info. Looks like Robertson and Senesi over the line is what they're saying. You're talking about Savinho looking like it's over very close to being over the line, and now it looks like Paul van Hecke could be the next one through the door as well. We'll get into everything in just a moment, but let's start off talking about Savinho, because look, we all know what's going on with Savinho, but SZY on X, very reliable, says Savinho deal is very close. The bid has now been sent. It looks as though there is a willingness from all parties to get this deal over the line, from Man City, from Tottenham, from Savinho. We've seen Javi post up pictures of him and Savinho very cryptically over the last 24 hours or last 48 hours. So, like I said yesterday, I firmly believe that this deal is going to get over the line. I think we're going to get the here we go very, very soon. And look, whatever I've been saying about over the last week or so about Savinho, about how I want someone better with him, which still stands, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be excited about Savinho, because he does bring some talent. He is very raw, but I think he can be a good player for us in the future. And I think, he'll have his value this season coming into it as well. He needs to up his product. That's for sure, his end product. No doubt about that. But I think he's a one-on-one demon, and that's what he's going to bring on that left-hand side. So him and Kudus on the wings, I think, is an exciting prospect, but they need to up that productivity. They need to get more goals and assists between them. And hopefully he can have a new lease of life here at Tottenham. He'll be amongst friends. He'll be amongst his very good friend from PSV Eindhoven, which was Javi Simmons, and they worked so well together in the Eredivisie. But now it's a different kettle of fish. Now it is the Premier League. So it is a signing that excites me. But the only real apprehension I have with it is that I don't think he should be our number one winger target. We should be bringing in someone else that is better than him alongside each other. So, look, I think it's positive that we're making moves. That's the main thing. It's just positive that we're making moves. Like I said before, Senesi and Robertson, all decent in their own right. Savinho in a position that we desperately need. And we'll talk about Paul van Hecke in a moment. But I genuinely believe the Savinho thing, there will be very much concrete information about it very, very soon from Fabrizio Romano, from David Ornstein. It's coming, people. It's coming. So gear up to it. And we're going to be feeding you the information here first on We Are Tottenham TV. Now, let's get into Paul van Hecke. Some interesting developments happening with him this morning. David Ornstein tweeted this morning, said that Tottenham had submitted a bid for Paul van Hecke from Brighton and Hove Albion. Tottenham offer for the 25-year-old centre-back below Brighton's evaluation, so it has been rejected. But talks do continue in a bid to strike an agreement. Dutch international is close personally to Roberto De Zerbi. Sam Wallace of the Telegraph also states that Chelsea and Liverpool are also interested in the Brighton defender, Paul van Hecke, but Spurs hope De Zerbi link will prove decisive. He also went on to say that Brighton's valuation of the defender is £70 million with a year left in his contract. That seemed crazy to me. I mean, 70 million with a year left in his deal. I think that's got to be some posturing there. No way are Spurs going to go up to 70 million, surely, or even close to it. I'll be surprised if this deal hits 55, 60 million even. Surely this has got to be between 40 and 50 million. And that is expensive for someone with a year left in his contract, no matter how good he is. The latest reports has come out from Holland, out from Voetbal International, who are a very reliable source out in the Netherlands. And they say that Paul van Hecke to Tottenham now looks likely before the World Cup, with the defender close to agreeing terms with Spurs. Spurs' offer was so serious that both clubs are now sat down to finalise the deal. Despite finishing 17th, Paul van Hecke is keen on the move. So look, this, if you're judging by these reports, David Ornstein saying that they're still at the negotiation table. Football International saying that Tottenham's clubs were so serious that both clubs are looking to finalise a deal. I mean, if you're a Brighton and Van Hecke is refusing to sign that deal, then you've got to figure out a way how to get the most money that you can from him in this summer transfer window. That's the reality. So if it's true that he would favour us over a Chelsea, over a Liverpool, because of his ties with Roberto De Zerbi, and he knows how he's going to fit into his system and everything like that, I think it's a brilliant deal. You're looking at the prospect, the mouth-watering prospect of having a centre-back duo of Jan-Paul van Hecke and Mickey van der Ven at centre-back. I think they will both complement each other so well, with Van Hecke being that kind of aggressive, really good on the ball, and Van der Ven being like the sweeper and being able to clean up maybe some of whenever Van Hecke gets caught out. So I think these two really complement each other. And they're also international teammates for the Netherlands. We all remember back when we had Toby and Jan, international teammates for Belgium, and we all knew the synergy there. And maybe we can recreate something like that with Van der Ven and Van Hecke. I think, look, you're looking at bringing in Senesi and Van Hecke together in the summer window, which I believe both of them, in terms of what they bring to you, what they bring to a team on the ball and their progressive passing, I think they're two of the best in the Premier League. I genuinely believe that. So I think they're perfect for De Zerbi, both of them. I think Van Hecke, where he kind of comes up short, is maybe his speed. I think he might get caught out a little bit, and maybe that's why maybe he's a bit so over aggressive. But that's what you've got Mickey van der Ven for. Mickey van der Ven, with his speed, with his recovery pace, will be able to get Van Hecke out of a lot of situations. So I think everything else Van Hecke brings to the table, I think, is phenomenal. Look, there is what you've got to talk about, because he has led to the most individual errors leading to a goal this season, which is 4, which is the most in the Premier League of the last season, which is definitely a concern. But I think that will kind of surely diminish if he's alongside a Mickey van der Ven. But with these talks, with these bids going in, this has got to be the clearest indication yet that Coutinho Romero will be leaving the club. And I'm not bothered at all. I think Van Hecke is a fine replacement for Coutinho Romero. I think it said somewhere that Van Hecke is ready for the next step in his career. It's crazy, isn't it, when you actually think about it? Like Brighton getting Europe for the second time in their history, Tottenham finishing 17th, and they're still seen as the next step in their career. That shows you that Tottenham are still a big club. So all the noise around it is complete bollocks. But yeah, look, I'm really happy to bring in Van Hecke. It's not exactly the position that we're crying out for, that we're desperate for. But I think any time you can upgrade is a positive, in my opinion. The way I'm saying it's not desperate, even with Romero and Dragoshin leaving, is because we got Vuskovic coming in. So that's the conversation that we need to have now. What is going to happen with Luka Vuskovic? Is he going to come in? Is he going to have his head turned by one of these big clubs? Are we going to get him to sign that contract and send him out on loan? All's going to be revealed, I guess, after the World Cup, as the report that we read to you yesterday, saying no decision on Luka Vuskovic is going to be made till after the World Cup. But now, let's say we do bring in a Van Hecke. What will Vuskovic be thinking on the back of that? Will he be willing to stay at Tottenham and fight for his spot in the first team? Will he want to go to a Barcelona? Or will he want to go, or will, I think what Spurs will probably want to do if they bring in Van Hecke is send him out on loan. Will he want to do that? Let's wait and see how it does work out. But I don't think he would be against it if the loan move is right. But is there a world that we can have, maybe even sell a Danso or have a Danso as a third option and have Van Hecke and Vuskovic as the two competing for that right centre-back option? Is it too many defenders to have? 6 defenders going into a season when you've got just the Premier League and the 2 domestic competitions? Because Ben Davies has already signed a contract, and you'd expect he would be the third choice for left centre-back. So that means Ben Davies, Marcus Senesi, Mickey van der Ven, and then you've got Van Hecke, Vuskovic, and Danso. Yeah, I mean, it probably does seem a bit too much, but I think I'm just so torn on this because I'm desperate. I'm desperate to get Luka Vuskovic in the frame and get him up to speed with the Premier League and get him some minutes in the Spurs shirt. I'm just so excited to see him. But then it also brings up the problems next summer as well. Like, what do you do next summer? Because it's not like Van Hecke is going to be a short-term option. He's 25 years of age. He's still relatively young. So that those problems are going to prop up again next season. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of materializes and how this plays out. But on the face of things, I'm like, when have we seen Tottenham put in these kind of bids and go in this early? And for Premier League established players as well, it's not like these are unheard of players. Robertson, yeah, fine, he's past his sell-by date, but what he brings off the pitch, I think, is invaluable. Senesi, one of the best ball-playing defenders in the Premier League, and also a star performer for Bournemouth this season, the last couple of years. Van Hecke, one of the best ball-playing defenders in the Premier League, and a star performer for Brighton this year. So, you know, we're going to these teams and we're taking some of the best talent that they got. So I think what this kind of signals is moving in the right direction, but I don't want to kind of run before we can walk, because there's a long way to go in the window. We still need to get the targets that we desperately need, because these positions, yeah, it's very well and good. You know, we needed a left centre back, we needed a left back. With Romero going, and depending on what their views are on Luka Vuskovic, we probably did need a right centre back as well. But we need to replenish that forward line, and I'm not going to sit here and start praising the window. Well, the window hasn't even opened yet, but it's hard to start praising it until we know exactly what has been said and done this window. So let's be calm, let's be cool, let's be collected, and let's see what they deliver for us for this window. But the early signs are good, people. The early signs are really good. So I'm liking this business so far. And I think these guys, they do bring a bit of leadership ability as well. You see Van Hecke definitely brings that leadership ability in the Brighton backline. Senesi in the Bournemouth backline, and Robertson, that speaks for itself. And, you know, you're bringing in Savinho as well, who's got a bit of quality, and he's probably the most raw one out of the lot, but he's definitely an exciting talent. So I think, yeah, there's reasons to be excited, but there's still a lot more work to be done, people. So can't get too excited just yet. But this is the news of today. Spurs have had a bid rejected for Paul van Hecke. However, the clubs are still at the negotiation table, and reports in the Netherlands are claiming that a deal looks likely before the World Cup, and Spurs are very serious and have sat down with Brighton to finalise a deal for Paul van Hecke. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, bringing in two of the best ball-playing centre-backs in the Premier League has got to be seen as a positive. It's exciting times. Let's hope that we can sustain it, because, you know what, we got excited last summer when we were getting Morgan Gibbs-White and we're getting Eze and we're getting all these people, and we had it thrown back in our faces. So let's just be measured about it, and let's hope we can get these deals over the line, and many more as well, because we need more. We need more in midfield, and we most especially need more in the forward line. You know, we need probably another striker, another right winger. I would even take another left winger on top of Savinho as well. So let's see how we go, people. Long way to go. 2 17th place finishes in a row suggests we need so much more business in this, but it's still early days. The window hasn't even opened yet. So come on, you Spurs. Let's get this deal done. And it's a positive start, people. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,